in our Chiefs matchup. But N1HEX AAAd, we're not too far away, boys. Take it away.
We should not have seen that. We should not have seen Cyclops Wolverine make it out of the ban phase. That is destruction.
It really just depends on what kind of team you're playing against. Some teams really like to play the Wolverine over over other teams, right? So if the Cyclops does end up going through, sometimes you got to be like, hey, maybe we should take away the Wolverine because we know that this team really likes to play that Wolverine. But that's going to be more of a middle to late part of the ban draft. Right now, we got to focus here on the first. N1HEX will take away the Mantis from AAAd, but AAAd will take away the Gambit from N1HEX and keep it for themselves one-sided, which is, we could say, the more predictable outcome here in the beginning.
One-sided Gambit? Surely a one-sided Mantis follows suit for N1HEX right here.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you're not going to get the one best in slot, you're going to get the new best in slot strategist. Has to be the follow-up there. I'm actually curious about Rogue. We may maybe see Rogue Gambit make it through again?
I don't think that would be allowed if you're on N1HEX. That's just way too strong of a synergy right there. And Star-Lord already being on, it feels like N1HEX already know how strong this Gambit pick could be, and you just take away things that are enabled by this Gambit so that if AAAd, when they come out of this ban draft, they have access to the Gambit, but if they don't have anything good to synergize it with, it just seemed like AAAd kind of just throw the Gambit pick out the window and just go something else.
Well, there it is, right there. Final Protect locked in for N1HEX. It's going to be the Rocket Raccoon. Going to be able to have a pretty good strategic lineup there, while at the end of the line, they have Cyclops making it through. Will that be a double ban for Cyclops? Waiting to see. Ultron coming out as well from AAA. Final bans are about to lock in. Well, that last protector. What could AAA want to protect here?
I mean, going back to the Ultron ban, it's kind of necessary. You don't want to give away the Ultron Mantis combination. The double damage amplification would just mean that N1HEX would have a ton of that momentum, a ton of that tempo in terms of getting those ultimates online as soon as possible. And AAAd, they know how strong the Rocket Raccoon is. N1HEX do the same. It's going to be mirrored picks for the Rocket Raccoon, and then N1HEX finalize their ban onto the Cyclops. So the Cyclops won't be around. But at the very least, if they really do want to, the Wolverine is still going to be available, albeit still going to be in a weakened state because he's not going to have much of that freedom in that open space.
No, indeed, no freedom, but we're going to roam on around right now. See how that all unfolds as the missionary is still 10 seconds away. To the battle, everybody. It's our first match of the day. Looking forward to it, as we can see. Wasted on the Gambit, trying to get some value, building up the other first ones onto the mission area for now. But I gotta say, Dan, what are they gonna build up to here? What is that first ultimate to really change the tide for N1HEX?
I mean, N1HEX, all eyes are on the Rocket Raccoon on Exile. The ultimate on the Rocket Raccoon just comes up so quickly. AAAd, however, are also running a triple strategist lineup with the Luna Snow and the White Fox being synergized together. And then Quasit on the third strategist, the Gambit, means that he can go for more aggressive moves, right? You don't have to keep using those cards to heal up the rest of the team. You can use it a little bit more aggressively. Maybe find some key big anti-heal AoEs to try to shut down N1HEX. But right now, AAAd doing a great job at managing N1HEX's aggression and are able to get the point for themselves. But N1HEX right now are doing a great job at pressuring Quasit right now.
Oh, there it is. Do you see Danny getting big picks, taking out Rocket and Quasit right now? The Devil Switch, boom, in the moment. 1% now climbing for N1HEX as they flip the mission area here. We've got to be very smart how they're going to approach this next fight. Now, Rex has Star-Lord ready to fly to the skies. Galactic Legend may be online. They may be able to mix it up with a bit of an amplifier as well from Lyle if that's the move they want to run for. But AAAd are staging for the next fight just as well, regrouping from spawn. But, you know, closer than ever to the End Song Inferno, that could be the counter they need to just completely shut down the amp early.
But the thing is, N1HEX need to make their move now. If they want to try to beat out the timing of Rocco's End Song Inferno, they have to use CYA aggressively and then use it in tandem with the Galactic Legend to try to wipe out as many of those members of AAAd as possible. Not just the CYA going to be a problem. Duba on the Magneto could easily soak up the damage coming in from NRX's Galactic Legend, but Duba doesn't get the Meteor in time, so NRX is able to zone away all of AAAd, and N1HEX are going to retain control of that mission area for a little bit longer.
Alrighty, there it is. There's the moment. Snake getting the picks, going for it. 50% climbing for N1HEX. It's going to be firepower, but Races as well, taking out DC Danny. D Spooky as well down. N1HEX lost 2. They're going to flip it back to AAAd's favor. No Smite, 70% and climbing. Ultimates are very much in AAA's favor for the next fight. They're going to have Freedom Charge. They're going to have the Kumiho Unleashed as well. Maybe Tuba might drop that Meteor. We'll see if Louis can also do it as well. I don't know about you, but I'm hoping we can see these Magnetos fly to space. Maybe bring some Meteor showers down on everybody tonight. That'll be beautiful to see. But Snake as well on the Luna. Winsgar as well. They're going to match fade both worlds next fight. But it's going to be a Royal Flush coming out early from Quasar as they're trying to really rush through. Meteor. Oh, sorry. Bulwark Shield, I should say. Wasn't enough to protect them right there. But still going to be a bit of impact. They go through the Krakoan portals. They start at the fate of both worlds. It's dancing time as they keep on moving.
Well, N1HEX already lost out on their one offensive option, right? Louis on the Magneto could have used that Meteor M to try to one-shot anyone on AAAd, and with him going down, DC Danny really doesn't have a way to reliably let the devil out. AAAd are going to retain the mission area to themselves, and now going into final fight territory, how does N1HEX decide to approach this? Because AAAd still have 2 more safety nets to rely on.
Ooh, 95% in climbing right now. This is the last moment for N1HEX to try and turn the tides. Is anybody there to contest? Overtime strikes into full gear. Freedom Charge going out from No Smite. Mandu takes out DC Danny. The Krakoan portals, the freezes, everything is going off right now. The final last-ditch effort. Louis takes out Roku. Winsgar falls to Mandu. The White Foxes are absolutely slashing. Tuba taking out Louis. 99% is going down. Overtime is done. That's AAAd going to be able to take first round here on Krakoa, which means we're going to take it to the second stage. We're going to take it to the carousel. Let's see if N1HEX can get a point on the board right now, but AAA are in the lead.
Yeah, AAAd took advantage of the scramble that N1HEX had to put themselves in. They had to get the Angela on D Spooky to try to touch the mission area, at the very least to trigger overtime, and then try to stall enough so that N1HEX do find a way to somehow regroup and then look for moves of their own. But AAAd, they knew that N1HEX had to just file in one at a time, and they were just able to isolate key members, make sure that everyone is targeting the same hero, and then N1HEX in turn just kind of fell one after the other. AAAd doing a great job again to just manage what N1HEX were trying to do in that final fight. And also saving the Luna Snow ultimate on the side of AAAd means that they will have an answer to NRX if he does use that Galactic Legend.
3, 2,
We'll need to answer more than just that, man. They need to answer way more than that, man. There's just so much coming out right now from AAAd. This is the formidable force we predicted right now.
Yep.
But N1HEX, they just can't let it happen. They got to step up. They got to bring that fire now more than ever. Otherwise, momentum is going to shift straight to AAA, and they're just going to get win after win in every single fight. But this is Krakoa. This is a map teams pick. This is a map teams love to go for every time we get a chance. When we're talking best of 5, you know, usually that 4th map, they take it to Krakoa, they take it to the land of the mutants to try and bring a little mutant magic and hopefully flip it back in their favor. But Mandu on the sidelines taking out Winsgar, the strategist down, another one down, Louis down, Winsgar down. That's quite a bit too many people down, but the rocket amp is there. Of course, the BR beacon gonna bring another back, but AAA, yeah, they do capture first for now.
Yeah, I don't think AAAd can really go for that close hold. Everyone on N1HEX are just scrambling to regroup. AAAd gonna get a little bit more aggressive here. DC Danny is very close to this whole resurgence if he wants to use it aggressively to try to give space for N1HEX to try to rush down anyone on AAA. But there is that combo with the CYA and the Galactic Legend. But again, the problem here is AAAd do have ways to defend it, right? Fate of Both Worlds is going to be an option. Duba on the Magneto is also going to be another one of those options. Rocco uses the End Song Inferno, I believe, to get the health reset. And then Snake tries to extend this fight for a little bit. But N1HEX are able to get the back cap.
Okay, alright, let's wind it up right now. It is the Guardians of the Galaxy team up that we love to see between Lyle and NRX, and D Spooky's gonna bring that Venom and take 2 down from AAAd. They do capture a back right now, and they do get their percentage finally climbing up. This is what we want to see, N1HEX. Keep it competitive and keep in the game right now, but they've got to be careful, even though they've got one of my favorite combos in the game, Feast of the Abyss of all worlds. Luna and Venom, it could be big for them if they time it just right, but AAAd have a defensive strategist all ready to go with Mandu. Can bring out the Kumiho, they can bring out the Royal Flush, and there it is! Quasar already stacking the deck in their favor right now. It's going to be matched with a Meteor charging up. Is it going to land? It is!
Oh!
KO from Louis! Taking out 2 right there. AAAd had the momentum to flush, but it is down the toilet with that fight as N1HEX still hold their ground.
N1HEX used so much in that past fight, and then coming into that past fight now, N1HEX really only had 2 ultimates to rely on, and Louis comes up absolutely huge with the double onto the Meteor M. AAAd, they wanted to use the Royal Flush to rush them down, but that just gets thrown out. Now it's NoSmite's turn to try to give some space for AAAd to walk in, while N1HEX need to find a way to defend with a single Feast of the Abyss, which is going to be so difficult as AAAd have that ultimate economy, and Mandu will continue to extend that fight. Snake will find one, everyone else doing the same to try to zone them away, and then Duba's turn with the double dunk. Both Magnetos going absolutely ballistic, one after the other, and AAAd will find a way to flip it over because N1HEX had a little bit of a lacking towards that ultimate economy.
Somebody called New York. We may have a new Dunk City in town right now between these two teams here. We love to see it right now. 40% climbing for AAAd. There's momentum finally back in their favor here. But N1HEX has finally shown up and shown out. They only need one more fight to take it. N-Song and Fernando. Oh, Rocco bones up Winsgar on the sidelines right there. Going to retreat back to their team. Phoenix shifting and making it their mark right there. 59% in climbing, 60% in climbing. Exlal has the amp if they need. No Smite trying to get some value. DC Danny hits the Resurgence right now to try and boost the team forward. There it is, another Guardians team up right there. NRX going for the Galactic Legend, shredding through, taking Snake down right there, shredding through the opposition. They've got lead, they've got 90%. Dan, if they just hold out, if they get more picks like taking Rocker right there and Mando on the sidelines, even if they got a Royal Flush right now, is it enough for AAAd? They're missing half their team.
Yeah, AAAd have to use the Gambit ultimate to try to, at the very least, trigger overtime. Exile in return gets the CYA down because he knows that the Phoenix on AAAd did not have access to the N-Song Inferno because he had to use it for that health reset. Now we go into Final Fight territory. Rocco is forced to channel the portal. And how does AAAd navigate this? Because they're completely out of gas.
Again, another Meteor. These Meteors are getting hits. That's what we love to see. Louis taking out Tuba. Overtime sticking off. 99%. There's still a chance. Snake takes out NRX. NRX is back with the BR Beacon. Louis taking out Snake in return. Overtime still ticking off down. D Spooky trying to hit it now with the Freedom Charge. Keep him alive. Keep him around and see if they can sustain. Rocco's down. 2 down. AAA down. That's going to go flip to N1HEX. 100%. They claim the second round of Krakoa. Tying up this beautiful domination map, Dan. We got to settle it on the Grove, man. This is it.
That was a key elimination from N1HEX. They had to get rid of the Captain America. He was so close to that Freedom Charge. I believe it was No Smite. Yeah, No Smite was so close to that ultimate, and he did get it. But N1HEX were able to eliminate the Captain America in time so that AAAd were not able to find another way to extend the fight. And then N1HEX, knowing that they got the Captain America out of the picture, means that they just had to eliminate and clean up the rest of AAAd reliably in order to secure that overtime fight. And they do just that, which means we go to a third round as we look at the ultimates on both sides in the current moment. N1HEX do have the fate of both worlds. AAAd do have that Freedom Charge, so both sides will have ways to counter each other. So I wouldn't be surprised if No Smite's ultimate will be canceled out by Winsgar here, and then Tuba on the Meteor M needs to come up huge, or is it going to be NRX on the Galactic Legend, because those two ultimates could also cancel each other out as well.
Oh, I mean, that's what we want to see. We want to see these ults trade, bro. Dan, that's literally what these teams need to do right now. They need to mark each other, and so far they're doing it well. N1HEX brought their fire back up, brought the heat again, and they're really making it sure AAA are going to have to work if they want to take this win. So, speaking of working, we're going to get Freedom going right now. No Smite bringing up that charge. Winsgar at the same time going to drop the Fate of both worlds to sustain and bring both teams in a bit of a little brawl on the high ground here behind the Krakoan waterfall. But Andrew's going to take another. No Smite taking 2. Winsgar and Danny out down. Lyle as well. NRX, that's going to be majority of N1HEX down as AAA are going to go back onto the mission area and just, you know, slide that blue bar back into their favor and get it on the red side and just be like, hey, you know, you were close, but we gonna cap first. All right, you can try next fight.
Yeah, N1HEX got close to getting the sneaky little first cap of the mission area, but that does stall a lot of time from AAAd. If AAAd were able to clean up that fight reliably, they should be around in the 10 to 15% mark, but because of N1HEX being able to disrupt it a tiny bit means that AAAd are going to have to play a little bit more in order to get those online and ready to go. As Duba and Rocco, they do the good old classic N-Song Inferno into the Meteor M Wombo combo, and AAAd are able to continue to extend this round for themselves.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going to have to do right now. 30% AAA, as we focus on right now, we've got to bring attention to what is the win con here. What can they combo? Like, we've got Quasted, but what can they force that Royal Flush to work with? AAA are missing that firepower. They don't have the Clops. They don't have the Star-Lord. They don't have that firepower to work with the Gambit right now. Phoenix can do some work, but hey, there it is. Never mind, I spoke too soon. You know what? The Gambit's going to be there to actually buff the strategist. It's a triple strategist meta, everybody. We don't need to buff our duelists anymore because we got Mando slicing them up in the backline right there. Tubers following suit. Magneto throwing absolute metal at them. Taking down 3 from N1HEX, which means they're still borderline. I don't want to say it then, but I'm going to have to. They're borderline spawn capping them right now. It's rough.
But at the very least, N1HEX do have resources in order to fight back, right? Soul Resurgence could be good in giving that rushdown potential, and DC Danny had to use it because he got so low. Didn't want to go down, means that N1HEX are going to have to try to scramble onto the mission area. They do so successfully, and now AAAd, you're a little bit scattered right now. Just regroup, get yourself online, ready to go, as Steak is prepping that Fate of Both Worlds.
Fate of Both Worlds are going to finally start up the dance right there. We're going to see the Amp from Lao get taken out as well, but it was enough to give a little bit of sauce to bring up. He's spooky right now. Freedom Charge going to bring the old charge up for the rest of N1HEX, and the matching it right now is No Smite, and there's a chance for them to flip it. They do. They have 20% in climbing for N1HEX right now. No Smite gets Winsgar. That's going to be Lao down as well. That's 2 down for N1HEX. DC Danny getting the pressure. 3 strategists down. There goes NRX. There goes Magneto. There goes Louis. And of course, that's going to be the rest of N1HEX down as AAA flip it back in their favor. This is it. This is the final fight potential. If AAA can hold this ground here, they're going to win the map.
Or they're going to try to get the cancel down. Rocco is charging up the right click, doesn't get the stun onto Louis, so Louis should be able to channel the portal. No, wait! Did they actually get it?
They did.
They might have.
They got it. Portal didn't go off.
Usually the UI would show that Louis would have gotten stunned. I don't know what happened there. It might have been something else. It wasn't the right click coming in from the Phoenix. Could it have been Mandu on the White Fox right click there? But either way, N1HEX are able to get the flip.
Yeah, they do get the flip, and they do get a chance right here to keep the contestant, and they do have overtime out of here. They said, none of that. No pressure is on us. We're going to hold... Oh, a little bit of a flip right now. Yo, DC Danny with the cover from Winsgar downtown. Taking 2. Double KO as they take out AAA on the sidelines behind the waterfall. What just happened? Okay. Normally, the Spider-Man contestant doesn't get high value by like Danny? Come on, man. That was spectacular.
Yeah, somehow N1HEX were able to get onto the mission area just in time and get the flip over, and then N1HEX surprisingly are able to retain it. AAAd now on the back foot for a little bit. Plaza needs to give so much value to the team with this Royal Flush. They need to use it now. They need to get eliminations fast, but with Louis charging up the Meteor, oh, great TP coming in from Mandu to get the iframe down and to nullify the damage from that Meteor M, but AAAd are just able to rush him down with the Royal Flush. N1HEX don't have an answer because they don't have any sort of ultimates online in time.
All right, here we go. Overtime ticking out 88 to 99. Who's going to get their opportunity to win here? Mando taking out NRX, 2 down from N1HEX. It's going to be another down as Lyle is down 100% to AAAd. They secure the map. A bit of a fiery effort from N1HEX, but just shy of victory here for themselves. We're going to get this first map in the series to AAA. Now, Dan, that was something there. There was something there from N1HEX, but towards the end, AAA just turned up the gas one more time and really just burnt down their hope. But I'm very curious to see what N1HEX does now. And I don't know about you, I'm going to call it early. It's Museum of Contemplation. They're gonna pick it. It's their dream map. They're gonna do it. Don't even doubt it. We can skip the map graphics, guys. We don't need to see anything. It's gonna be a museum.
Yeah, don't give you guys a break. We already know where we're going. We're just gonna go straight into the bad draft in the next clip. No. Okay. We're
straight into the bad draft. We don't need a break.
We're memeing a little bit right now. But right now, N1HEX look good. This is what I wanted to see, right? Map 1 yesterday for N1HEX looked incredibly rough, but here it's looking so much better. I'd say even better than all of their performances in the last season against matchup against Reject, right? Coming in against AAAd, N1HEX were just able to find ways to take advantage of a AAAd, right? AAAd really tried to rely on the Gambit Ultimate, the Raging Royal Flush, to try to rush down N1HEX, but N1HEX were able to find opportunities of their own while the Raging Royal Flush is on cooldown And you got to give it props to N1HEX because they actually are playing more cohesive, more together as a team, and are able to identify these key parts where AAAd are a little bit exposed, right? Trying to get as much pressure onto the Gambit as possible so that even if he does go for the Royal Flush, it's going to be too little too late.
Literally, that was what every fight felt like. Too little too late to activate, to get the ultimates they needed to win it. They were using just resources to just draw out AAAD's resources. They never got the chance to use those ultimates to accelerate and get a win. And they did on second round, but not enough on that third round. Look, I will say though, very appreciative of the Meteors. Thank you very much for the Magneto gameplay. It was fun to see some of that action. So it's nice to see Mag is back in the meta for a little bit.
I'm sure LeBron was taking notes.
Interesting.
I'm sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Dunkmaster Duep out there as well. You know, there's a lot of opportunities for some Magneto players to be enjoying that gameplay right there. But I will say though, the Gambit factor is something we got to discuss from that ban draft. Like, it's just, you know, yeah, you secure it for yourselves, but who's with it? Who's working with it? It rarely did it get the absolute value they needed right now. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and we'll see what N1HEX decide to cook up here in map number 2. They look a lot better in playoffs here, but we'll see if they're able to keep that momentum going towards the rest of the series. But we'll see if N1HEX are able to get it done. As we take a short break, we'll be right back for map number 2.
Pentagram of Farala. Our enemies are near. By the eye of Agamotto! Out, dark magic! Let the devil go! You couldn't be saved.
We start off today with absolute cinema, and even though it didn't go in N1HEX's way, it's okay, because at least they got 1 point on Krakoa. But I'm going to throw some stats at you boys. Guess what?
Ooh.
It's not the first time this has happened. A month ago, we saw in Stage 1 N1HEX face up against AAAd. Guess what the first map was?
Krakoa.
It was Krakoa. And guess what? It went 1-2. N1HEX got 1 point, but it was still AAAd's game. So where did N1HEX go from there? They went to Yggdrasil, and they ended up winning the map. Do we think this is a recreation of history?
I mean, if it worked once, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Liger's saying something otherwise, but I mean, if the trend does go that way, if the trend goes towards what Keg is saying, I wouldn't be surprised if or N1HEX pick Yggdrasil here. I'm just gonna say it. It might be Yggdrasil. Liger is still thinking Museum of Contemplation. We'll see when the graphic shows up and see who's correct or not.
Well, we'll have to
That
wait
was
for
a
the
different meta, a different time, a different world, a different
meta.
multiverse. It's music.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the meta. Hold on now, because
you
in the
gotta
first, we saw every single advantage under the sun for N1HEX, right? You had, what was it? You had Rocky, you had Mantis, you had Luna, you had everything you could potentially want, and still N1HEX couldn't close it out, Liger.
I'll tell you why. Because they are all in on Museum. Museum is the map they want to be
Naturally.
in the playoffs. Okay,
Naturally.
and it's going to be Museum, and trust me, it's just Museum. I'm going to keep saying Museum so that we can just drill it into our heads that it's going to be Museum. But of course, besides all that, yes, you're right. No, they had availability with strategists, with craziness. Yes, reverse psychology worked, guys.
Of course, yup.
Reverse psychology. I'm a genius.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yes, it worked. Thank God.
All right, well then, Mr. Liger, is this going to be a reverse psychology win for N1HEX?
You're the one who said 3-0. All right, that's what you said.
I'm here
me.
to stir the
All
pot.
right.
That is my job.
All right, well, in the poll, we need to add some ingredients, so let's talk about that. Yggdrasil path, we know what that's going to yield. We know the type of compositions. I'm going to say something we haven't seen in a while that might show up, and it might not be the way you expect. Groot? Okay. No, not the Knight. Groot with Cyclops might be the move here. So I'd like to see Cyclops make it out of the ban draft. I think this is the one map where it could work, but it's also very good for Angela as well. So if we don't get the Groot, Angela's a great option, but it all depends. And I will say, one here that kind of slips past the ban draft a lot on this map as well, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really could open things up.
Wolverine takes so much advantage of the corners area, right? If you get a good Pharaoh leap, you can easily isolate the vanguards. So maybe there could be some adjustments coming in. I would be a little bit surprised if the Wolverine does get committed as a save, because I feel like the Cyclops is just way more valuable when you think about the big picture of the entire game.
We're moments away, boys. Do we think Wolfclops is going to make its way through?
I don't think so. I don't think these teams should. I feel like there's just like so little room, right? You either focus a lot on the strategists or you focus a little more onto the Cyclops, and it's gonna be up to both N1HEX and AAAd to gauge, like, hey, are these strategists gonna be way more of a problem than the Cyclops, or is Cyclops going to be a bigger problem from other things like the Ultron, the Mantis, maybe the Gambit? We're gonna have to see. It all comes down to the ban draft.
I can feel myself fading into the ether, so I will leave you with one more point. We did see Mantis go through for N1HEX, and they still couldn't clutch up that first game. Maybe Mantis isn't as strong as we thought, question mark?
Ooh.
I mean, the damage amplification is still so good. Yeah. And the movement speed as well.
It depends what you're running with.
Yeah.
Okay. Do tell.
No, it depends what you're running with at the end of the day. Like, you had the Gambit factor to consider. We literally called it. What is the Gambit working with, right, Dan? Like, you were breaking it down for us. Like, even if Mantis is like, a higher ban rate at the moment than Gambit, it doesn't necessarily mean that Gambit's Mantis is way more threatening than the Gambit. They're kind of interchangeable at the moment.
It's like you talked about it, right? What is Mantis enabling? Usually it's like a single duelist, right? Putting Mantis in a triple strategist composition is the more common sort of a option that many teams that do have access to the Mantis go for. And it's going to be dependent on what duelist you want to just pump all the damage amplification onto, whether it be things like the Phoenix, maybe Elsa Bloodstone, maybe Cyclops, if that does even go through. But for now, we're going to just ease our way into the second ban draft here on Yggdrasil Path, as both sides are going to do relatively similar things that we saw back in map number 1, right? N1HEX take away the Mantis from AAAd. AAAd respond with a one-sided Gambit. N1HEX doing the exact same thing, saving the Mantis for themselves, and then taking away the Star-Lord so that Gambit, Star-Lord Ultimate Wombo combo will not be available.
No way, indeed. And then the Loki follows suit as well. No chance of mirroring that. Rogue as well, Cyclops. I feel like we saw the exact same. Are we about to have a frame one perfect repeated ban draft right now? There's no way.
We might. We'll see. Rocket's save has been, the standard so far for N1HEX, as Ultron will be taken away to deny the damage amplification combo with the Mantis and the Ultron that has been very, very strong across all regions throughout the entirety of Ignite this season, it felt like, right? And then the Loki will be the final save for AAAd, so they will have access to the double Royal Flush, which is going to be absolutely scary because Loki definitely alleviates what a single Gambit has to struggle with, right? Getting the ultimate down as soon as possible, but with Loki having a little bit shorter of an ultimate cost means they could get that double Raging Royal Flush consistently.
Oh, well, now we're on Yggdrasil path, so it's definitely what we expected with the group mirror coming out from No Smite and D Spooky. But I've got to say though, Danny on that Mantis, that's a threat. That is a threat right there. But AAA Rocco has, instead of going for the Phoenix, actually is the Wolverine in this matchup right here, where Snake's going to be the one burning up on Jean Grey for now. But we'll see how it all unfolds. Quasar already building up to that crazy Royal Flush right there. Oh, big steal right there. Taken to the skies. So, instantly gone. Gonna have to use the BR Beacon early.
Yeah, still going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but the trades go in favor of N1HEX because of that BRB. So now AAAd, without access to the Loki, means that they're going to have to play a little bit more carefully. Great hook from NRX as well to take away Rocco. So AAAd are just going to get staggered a tiny bit, so they're going to have to go for the reset button.
You're gonna have to reset for now. That's going to be the move. We'll see if that's going to get the value though, but you know, D Spooky restaging around, trying to set up the Ironwood wall in their favor as well. But I see No Smite on the corner there. It's really just a battle of brutality between these Groots here, who can see if they can get their tree trunk in action early on for themselves. But Ironwood walls, Thorn Slash walls being set up. Oh, what a spot from D Spooky. But turn around, you got a group behind you. The walls almost catching them out. No Smite got a bit risky there. It was a little bit of a, I like that, Dan. It was a little bit of a like, hey, we're baiting them out, see if we can change their line of sight and jump on them. But for now, it's going to neutralize as both teams do, you know, stage around the convoy here, the goats of Yggdrasil. We're going to see if it's in their favor. Quasar hitting for the Royal Flush, which means No Smite blocks off the door and focuses down NRX, but they're going to be able to come back into the next fight with a BR Beacon. We're going to see the Meteor charge. It's not going to land on anybody, but Rocco's going to get a pick. Louis as well. Oh, Tuba with the diamond form roundhouse right there, taking him out. Double KO for the hammer right now, as they do get frozen, but are going to be able to focus down Winsguard, pushing them back. And AAA, they're going to probably push it to the first gate here.
Yeah, N1HEX, they tried to rely on NRX with the Kraken Impact to try to get some offensive action onto AAAd, but NRX just comes out empty-handed, which meant that AAAd just used the Raging Royal Flush and then just run right over N1HEX. D Spooky goes in with the Strangling Prison, the copy onto the Gambit Ultimate on AAAd goes through. Silent Seduction even going to be used to try to zone away the remains of N1HEX, and they all get separated, they all get staggered out. AAAd should be able to secure this first checkpoint.
Oh, definitely. With the walls set up by No Smite, they should be able to push them out. Oh, I spoke too soon. A little bit of contention from D Spooky. Gonna buy some seconds to shave off the clock right there, but time bank has increased right now for AAAd as they're gonna move on to the second section here of Yggdrasil. But I've got to say though, Dan, we've got to bring it to attention right now. You know, a lot of combinations are ready, but a lot of counter ults are too. I mean, even if we do get X-Cloud to get that See Ya Later going off, but right now, Snake will be there. They're going to counter it. Ensong Inferno easily clear it out and even do a bit of damage to the backline, as well as kind of reposition in case D Spooky catches them out. But speaking of catching out with the group, it's going to be No Smite who's looking for the Strangling Prison here.
Yeah, the Strangling Prison is definitely going to be a huge factor in this next fight. AAAd getting very, very aggressive here. There's the Strangling Prison into the dunk. It's going to catch out 3.
Come
the
on.
wombo combo is absolutely perfect. And N1HEX just get burned up to smithereens.
Burned up right there, absolutely sent to crisps. Rocco taking out X-Cloud, wins got 4s as well. Value for AAAd as they are, holding spawn on N1HEX right now, setting up the Thorn Slash walls coming out from No Smite. Why? Because they can probably push it here uncontested. There's no chance of a portal. There's no chance of anyone making it back. They're going for a Royal Flush just to guarantee the delivery right now. Is it going to be enough? Quasar takes out DC Danny. Anybody there to contest? Anybody there? No! A time bank has increased once again for AAAd as they're going to be pushing N1HEX back to the end of the map right now. This is a pace right now, Dan.
Yeah, Quasar got so aggressive there, using the Raging Royal Flush so that if N1HEX wanted to go for the retake, it's going to be so hard when everyone on AAAd is just running at your face. N1HEX just didn't have any way to combat it. The best thing they had was X-File on the CYA, but you really want to use the Rocket Ultimate more aggressively rather than defensively. NRX goes in with the Kraken Impact, uses the Loki clone to get the reset, and is able to find Duba. Can he find the Groot? Is able to get it in time, but with everyone on AAAd already inside the spawn room, they're going to have to put this Kraken Impact to the waysides for a little bit, but NRX is still able to extend it, but finally will have to be put to rest.
What a shame. We wanted to see the Kraken Impact go again and again, but AAA is smarter than that. They're like, let's just hide. Yeah, we don't need to. We don't need to face this Bucky NRX who's just getting, you know, bang after bang on those impacts right there. Let's regroup for now. But speaking of a regroup, Luna, Rocco getting that sustain. Bit of a Magneto Meteor from Louis, but it's not going to get the value they need. In return, Windscar's going to have to pop their Fate of Both Worlds for now. Try to give sustain for N1HEX on their defense right here, just to be able to tank out Tuber's Psionic Seduction. But Mandu's going to go for the copy right now, which means they get another Royal Flush, and they're going to be able to take down the Spooky, who's going to have to use the beacon to get back into the fight. But the question is, do they have follow-up? Yes, with no smite, Strangling Prison, but it might let N1HEX retreat a little bit and stage for the next fight.
Yeah, I feel like N1HEX might have made a slight blunder using a ban onto the Cyclops rather than the Loki to deny the double Raging Royal Flush, because right now, N1HEX, it just feels like every time AAAd have the Royal Flush online, N1HEX don't have any way to counter it. The tempo is just not there. Whenever N1HEX go for those ultimates, they come out empty-handed, at best, like 1 or 2 eliminations. And AAAd are completely happy with this, although they lose Quasit here in this fight. So N1HEX do have a chance to come back here. Great Strangling Prison means that N1HEX finally are able to stabilize, but AAAd, they're happy with this, right? They still have a minute 40 left on the board. They have a Royal Flush ready to go, and if N1HEX don't have a way to combat this next wave of Royal Flush coming in, it's going to be so difficult to continue to stop the momentum from AAAd.
I mean, we can look at the subsequential status for the ultimates right now for AAAd and the strategist lineup. Like, yeah, Quasid's ready with the Royal Flush, but who's coming up? Fate of Both Worlds from Rocco, and then after that, Mandu can copy as well. There's so many options, but we're going to start off with a Phoenix. Gets denied. I think the end song didn't crash down. Long shot from Louis, taking out Rocco Dunk City out here. Following suit, NRX is still getting those Kraken impacts right now. This is very tough for AAA. They need to just head back and regroup. You've only got a minute left right now, and they did have to burn through their end song and Royal Flush, which means next fight, they're going to have to make something big happen. And, oh, they're going to switch off the Groot and go to No Smite. Maybe to build up a Clutch Meteor. What do N1HEX have to respond, though? Maybe the Resurgence? Maybe they can get their Fate of Both Worlds? Right now, it's looking pretty good for N1HEX. They might be able to hold it, but AAA have one last effort.
Yeah, the one last effort would be Mandu with the God of Mischief to copy the Raging Royal Flush. Quasit needs to make sure that he stays alive and is in the line of sight of Mandu if they want to use that Royal Flush. They're going to start things off with Rocco with the Fate of Both Worlds to at the very least retain the space that they have already claimed for themselves. Windscar is going to get the later cast of the Fate of Both Worlds. AAAd are going to have to reel back a little bit. D-Spooky looks for the Strangling Prison. I think he came out empty-handed. Mandu goes for the copy, is able to get the Royal Flush down, and now the rest of N1HEX need to just run for the hills, make sure they stay alive, and just stall enough so that if AAAd want to go for something more, it's going to be even more problematic. But the Strangling Prison into the anti-heal is absolutely sublime. AAAd just wipe out N1HEX. AAAd move on forward for just a little bit. Overtime comes up, but N1HEX, they still have one more fight.
Eyes on No Smite right now. The Groot's going to be able to definitely set up those Thorn Slash balls, but they get the read. N1HEX go for the right door, which is just slightly less protected. Phase shifting right there, clean from the Phoenix to dodge the hook coming out from NRX to Bucky. But there it is. Quasid does land the Royal Flush. Are we going to get armed and dangerous as NRX tries to go for the Kraken impact right now? Lyle bringing Danny back in the fight. We're going to go again, but it's Tuber crunching on the Colossal Beast. That is the Double Dinosaur right there. Louis and NRX are taken down. No Smite gets another. That's 4 down for N1HEX. They're going to take it to the end. AAAd deliver to the big tree at the very end of Yggdrasil.
If the Loki didn't get passed through, I feel like N1HEX could have held there. The 2 waves of Royal Flush is just too much for N1HEX to handle. There were times where the Royal Flush, although it didn't get any eliminations, it still got so much value in terms of the map space, right? N1HEX, they don't have a way to use a Royal Flush of their own. They don't have access to the Loki. They don't have access to the Gambit either. So there's just no way for them to, at the very least, find a way to stabilize. Best thing they had was either DC Danny on the Soul Resurgence or X-File on the CYA, but those can only do so much. N1HEX just had to run away, try to keep themselves 6-man strong, so that when AAAd's Royal Flush does come out, N1HEX, either way, they're going to be put in the back foot in terms of trying to reclaim the space that AAAd claimed for themselves.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Tough to say if they can pull it off right there for themselves. We're going to see very soon as there's good old spawn doors opening up in 20 seconds. But now's the time, N1HEX. Now is your chance. If they can push it to the end, if they can get the same pace, they're going to get a chance to run this map back and try win it overall. But AAAd, they're ready for that. They've marked for it, and in fact, they've gone and brought out the Emma Tuba on that Sonic, which means if they can rotate Sonics, mix it with the flush, mix it as well with, oh, I can't believe I completely slipped my mind and didn't see this, Dan. Mandu Rocco. They've got double Karmic Revival. They don't even need the double Royal Flush anymore. They've got something even better for defense.
I mean, right now, they could go for the aggressive option with the double Royal Flush, or they can go a little more defensive, right? Double Karmic Revival could also be an option, but great looks from N1HEX, especially Louis, to take away the cocoon from Rocco. So that's going to be a lot of pressure. And oh no, Closet getting down early means that AAAd, they're going to have to just step back for a little bit here. N1HEX come out swinging here into neutral.
Oh, big swings coming out. Big slap. Oh, the reset's coming out. Animation cancelling from Rocco.
Okay.
It's knowing Adam Warlock to a T. Soul bonding for now as Louis puts the pressure. But they do get Rocco in turn, and DC Danny takes the revenge trade right there. But it's going to have to be 1-to-1 apiece for both sides down their strategist. But there's still plenty of people available for them to work with. I gotta say that N1HEX got
N1HEX, the game plan is to go fast, get aggressive as possible. Because AAAd, they're relying on the Karmic Revival and the Raging Royal Flush, but right now, both of those ultimates are so long away from being used. Mandu is close to getting a copy down, but with the aggression coming in from N1HEX, AAAd are just a little bit scattered, it felt like, right now. But Mandu is now getting access to the God of Mischief, so N1HEX, if they want to go for something huge, it's going to be up to D-Spooky here with the Strangling Prison to try to combo with NRX on the Kraken Impact.
have the combo for now. Big jump and action coming out from Tuba. Seeing the Ensong Inferno crashing down. Is it going to be able to connect with anybody? Kraken Impact does get a couple reset marks, but if they can, yes they can, get another. Going once, going twice for another. Can they burn him asunder? Can they get another on the Bucky Kraken right there? We'll see for now as no response going to be taken down from D-Spooky. 1:59 left on the clock. Do N1HEX take it? They're going to be born again. They're going to come back with a Karmic Revival, but are they going to stop the push? Are they going to hold all this momentum? N1HEX just manifested out of nowhere right here. Soulbond's going off. AAA is still in the fight. They're winding it up with a Strangling Prism. A little bit of a barrier coming out from Winsguard. Does save them for now, but NRX takes out Snake. Oh my days, there goes the damage. There goes the power of the portal. It's up from 2, but they do not want to yield. And there it is, opening up the field to the Royal Flush coming out from Quasid. There's going to be some BR beacons as well. There's going to be so much pressure. Just when you thought N1HEX could push to the gate, AAA send them back to spawn. They refuse to give up here. There's still a minute left.
Great timing coming in from Rocco with the Karmic Revival. That's literally the reason why AAAd were able to hold, right? They were able to just jump on to the convoy, stall for a little bit, because even if they get eliminated, they know that the Karmic Revival is just going to bring them right back. They all go in one at a time, are able to stall the convoy long enough for Tuba to channel the portal so that the rest of AAAd are able to regroup, buy enough time for Quasi to get the Royal Flush down. So AAAd, great looks there. It's going to be huge props to Rocco there, timing that Karmic Revival to perfection.
Well, that is a very unfortunate Kraken Impact. Even though they were so clustered there, it missed hitting any marks as the Loki clones just diffused at the last moment. But Tuba with the Yagamoto coming out from the Strange right there. Is it going to be enough to set them up? Lyle drops the amp. There's firepower. There's everything they need to bring it right. D-Spooky taking out Mandu. We're swinging around, trying to follow with no smite if they can try to get another one out of this fight right here. But in the skies, the Atom is strafing, but unfortunately not going to get it. NRX takes them down. No smite falls. That's another one down. Tuba's down. And there we go. N1HEX, after a little bit of a long fight, they do push through. Whew. Relieved they must be, Dan, right there, as they do get time added to their bank right here. They're still in it, still a chance to win it.
Yep, AAAd tried to find a way to just zone away N1HEX with more Raging Royal Flush, but N1HEX were just able to get the job done thanks to Exile on the CYA. Meant that the damage application was just too much for AAAd to handle. N1HEX, just with raw damage alone, are able to get the site down. I mean, NRX is just popping off on the Winter Soldier right now. Not only with the shots, but also with the Kraken impact. Although sometimes it didn't go the way that they wanted, but it's still a lot of pressure and a lot of damage. But Anosmite is putting as much pressure as possible to try to deny the Soul Resurgence. They combo it with the End Song Inferno, and DC Danny just gets absolutely one shot.
Absolutely right there, Rocker getting the picks as well. Wasted on the Gambit. This is exactly the momentum that AAA want to just absolutely nullify right now from N1HEX, who, you know, feeling good after that push right there. But already a minute of their bank just drained here, and they're only on that first corner right now. But possession of the convoys back in AAAd. But we've got to talk about what can they play here to try and nullify N1HEX, because N1HEX, they got a really massive combo. If they get it, damn, that Kraken prison, that could be big.
Yeah, but I mean, AAAd just have the Royal Flush, so for now, they're just able to wipe out the rest of N1HEX. N1HEX, crucially, do save their ultimates for this next engagement, right? Windsor getting closer to the invisible boundary. Exile also close to the CYA. If they really want to combo it here, we'll see how AAAd do try to handle this. Closet going down means that AAAd can't really close hold much longer, because they're not going to have access to a bit of that heals for just a few more seconds.
Few more seconds is what N1HEX wish they have right now, but 50 is all they have left in the bank. These spooky hits, the Strangling Prism, Kraken Impact is lined up, doesn't get the combo, doesn't get the reset they need, but it's going to get countered by the Sonics right now. Rocco on the backline, Mandu's going to go for the clones, going to go for the shift right there. Are they going to be able to copy anything of value? It's going to be Mandu chasing Louis in the background, Angela down, everybody. The Flyer is at it here, grounded from that pressure right there. That's going to be a Loki who just copying the Gambit right there, giving themselves a Royal Flush, even though they've been locked out of their opportunity. But we'll see how it is. We'll see if there's more. Let's see if there's 15 seconds left for them to contest, to try and hold it down right now. Do they have a portal? Do they have congestion? Do they have a hold? What's left?
It's all going to come up to Rocco with the Kraken Impact. Greens are already used on the side of AAAd. There is no more safety nets. It's only aggression. But Louis with the Heaven's Retribution pins down several members of AAAd. No Spike goes in with the Feast of the Abyss to try to put a lot of that pressure. But N1HEX, they're fighting back here. The trades are looking in favor of N1HEX. AAAd are down 3. N1HEX looking to break through with this Soul Resurgence.
There it is right now. Final chance for DC Danny and the Resurgence, trying to push them through. N1HEX, do they have it? Do they have it? The moment is true, and I do believe they do. Right there, again at the very last second there, they push through one more time. AAA, listen, you gotta shut them down. This is crazy. N1HEX, I love it. They refuse to go down without a fight. They refuse. But the last chance right now, they need to refuse one last time and take it to the end. This is it.
So
they only got like 2 fights.
It's going to be so hard with already 30 seconds wasted. N1HEX, look at the meter. They have so much more of that space to navigate. It's going to for sure go into an overtime scenario, and it's all going to come down to these plays right here. Strangling Prison up into the high ground to try to stun and pressure up the rest of AAAd. Rocco goes down. He switches over to the Moon Knight to try to use the Strangling Prison into the Hand of Khonshu Wombo combo. That was one of their big win conditions, but with that gone, it's going to be up to Quasit and Mandu to try to get a Royal Flush down. Quasit is going to be so instrumental in keeping AAAd sustained, because if he goes down, Mandu has no one reliable to copy.
No one at all, but final chance. Here we go. Mandu's going to go for the copy right now. Going to go for the Royal Flush copy and Quasid. We're going to see that Gambit ult going off right there. They're going to try to bring that damage right into D-Spooky, taking down the group for now. No BR Beacon available. They're going to have to go for the regroup, save the Beacon for the next fight. But nonetheless, he's the power, he's the pressure. Angela with a little bit of a bout here with Mandu on the Loki right there. Who's the real Loki? It doesn't matter. 5 seconds left. Does anybody contest? Does anybody bring that opportunity back into overtime right there? There it is. It strikes, and in the skies, the moon haunts you as it takes down DC Danny. Lyle's down as well. Wounds go there. All 4 of N1HEX are going out of the fight. Last standing are their Vanguards to try and hold out hope, but there's just none left. Overtime's down and out. AAAd officially secure Yggdrasil.
N1HEX, you gotta ban out the Loki. You gotta ban out the Loki. That was literally the reason why N1HEX were just barely not able to get to that 3rd checkpoint. Because they were able to handle one Royal Flush reliably well, but then the problem was N1HEX knew there was another rotation of that Royal Flush down, especially in that final fight. Quasit didn't even have to use his, albeit he could have just saved it towards like the very end of that team fight, because N1HEX, they could have used some of those ultimates to try to aggressively make space for themselves, but then AAAd were just like, yeah, I mean, you can do that all you want. We're just gonna have a Royal Flush and just run you down. Like, AAAd, they had so many opportunities to just run over N1HEX, because I felt like N1HEX, whenever they had options to go for plays, they had to wait for their ultimates to come on rotation and be in sync with each other, whereas AAAd, they were just heavily reliant on the Royal Flush, so whenever that Royal Flush was online, they could just run them down. Oh, we have another set of cards, so if N1HEX don't have a response, they're going to get run over a second time, and that momentum just keeps piling on top of each other. And AAAd were just able to utilize it to perfection. And I gotta say it one more time. Please ban the Loki if you're gonna let the Gambit through. Please. I beg you.
Honestly, you said it best. Honestly, it's just stairwell theory at this point. Like, every time they take a step forward, N1HEX, they're always looking at that step. They're always trying to look ahead, trying to skip steps. Whereas AAAd are just head down, climbing up that staircase. Every opportunity they take. Every ult combo they take. Every ban phase, they take a step by step and they secure something, deny something, secure something, deny something. N1HEX are just trying to play a bit too shifty and a bit too smart here to try and catch AAA off guard. It's backfiring. It's making them lose assets that they need way before they even start the map. The ban draft is everything right now.
Yeah, we have to talk about the ultimate wombo combos too, right? N1HEX also had options of their own, especially with the Kraken impact into the Strangling Prison. That's their main combo that they really relied on in this map in particular. Whereas AAAd, they had a slew of different ways that they could have comboed N1HEX down. We saw it at times, right? No Smite with the Strangling Prison, yeah, right there with the Endsong Inferno, just eviscerating half of N1HEX. Might as well call Snake Thanos at that point, because my god, half the team is just already dissipated. AAAd also just doing so well. Like, again, relying on the Royal Flush to just rush down N1HEX if those combos weren't ready in time.
Yeah, pretty much that is exactly it. Straight to the board, 2-0 in a best of 5 series right now. AAA are about to win it. Let's be real, AAA are about to win it if N1HEX are going to let Gambit through again. They're going to play this ban draft in a very tough way. They don't want to be there again, Dan. Like, what are they going to do? Talk to me, walk me through. What should they just do in this ban draft?
Either you adjust the first ban from the Mantis and then use it on the Gambit instead, or you let the Gambit through, but actually ban out the Loki. I feel like the Loki ban would have been so much more valuable over the Cyclops there, but we'll see how N1HEX decide to adjust here. We still have one more map to play at the very least, so when we come back, we'll see if N1HEX do get some sort of reverse sweep down.
Pentagram of Farala. Our enemies are near. By the eye of Agamotto! Out, dark magic! Let the devil go! You couldn't be saved.
Well, boys, to ban Loki or to not ban Loki, that is the ultimate question here to see whether or not this could be N1HEX's final chance to stay inside playoffs. Have they flown so many miles, kilometers, whatever unit of measurement you want to go for, just to fall out without winning a single map? Dan, talk to me. I know before the break you were talking about the possibilities of what the bans could look like with a Loki removed. Expand on that, please.
Just get rid of the Loki. If you're gonna let the Gambit through, at the very least, focus on the Loki, because it just felt like AAAd were just able to outpace N1HEX throughout many stages of that second map on Yggdrasil. And N1HEX, they've had moments where they did fight back, but it just felt like whenever they did, it was only for a little bit, because AAAd just kept chucking decks of cards at them, and N1HEX were just dying a death of 1,000 cuts at that point.
But if you do sacrifice the Loki, you are leaving options on the table that are much more meta right now. Like, you do have the Rocket, you have the Mantis. Is that going to be a worry for AAAd?
Oh, I mean, like, at that point, like, this is what we were saying earlier about the whole strategist pool. They're all too good at the top. They're all too good. Like, at that point, you just have to figure out which one to be weakest to. Right now, let's talk about Gambit.
Okay. So Gambit's on the potential chopping block. We've seen some Rogue in the past. I don't believe we've seen it in this series. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, we haven't. I will say, though, Louis and NRX, even though they have not won a map so far, they have really impressed me so far this series. Louis has been unbelievable with the Meteor Ends.
Oh, yeah.
He's on LeBron levels right now, but NRX has been super great on a variety of different heroes, too. It feels like we're in the same point as we were yesterday, Dan, where we saw N1HEX having a lot of great macro ideas, but unfortunately, as we go to Lower Manhattan, this has been a counter pick choice that a lot of teams like to choose into, including AAAd, like to play themselves. They played it against XOX, they played it against Reject. They got 2 and 3 on this map both times against some of the top teams in Asia, but they weren't able to win it out. N1HEX, they want to try to do the same, but with them playing, again, very individualistically, is that going to be the solution?
I would hope so. I mean, you talked about it. It's gotten close to the point where N1HEX were very, very close in winning out their own map pick here on Lower Manhattan. It's gotten a lot more popular as we got further and further into Stage 1 group stage, not just here in the Pacific region, everywhere. Like, both Americas and EMEA started to pick Lower Manhattan a lot more. And maybe it's just like that, hey, it's a little bit of a curveball here, right? Maybe that inexperience might play a part in trying to get that slight edge over the opposing team, and right now N1HEX are trying to do just that. We have a look here, right? N1HEX actually picked the defensive side first, so I wouldn't be surprised if N1HEX do go for more of those bunker styles, at least to try to hold down that first checkpoint.
We are moments away from potentially the final map of N1HEX's run inside Stage 1 playoffs. As we go to Lower Manhattan, though, and I can feel myself fading away, is this going to be a change maker? Because we're going to Lower Manhattan, does that alter the chances of Loki coming through Liger?
Look, if it's the same ban draft again, will it alter?
Not.
I don't know. The map, it doesn't scream too much of a difference from what we just played. So the ban draft, honestly, at this point, like, it could be your final map, and you haven't worked on the same ban draft 2 maps in a row. Something has to change. What can you change besides just internal gameplay of the match? Gotta tackle this ban draft differently.
See if N1HEX do figure out a way to, at the very least, shimmy the Loki ban in there. We'll see, because right now we get into the ban draft here. What could possibly be the final map that N1HEX will play here in Ignite Stage 1 Pacific. AAAd just need one more map, and maybe it can be done here on Lower Manhattan. Or N1HEX could still stay alive here, but for now, it's ban draft time, right? AAAd will get access to the one side of the Gambit once again. And N1HEX, the ball is in their court. You need to find ways to shut down this Gambit. They've done a great job at it so far, right? Taking away the Rogue, taking away Star-Lord as well. But there has to be more. There needs to be a place to take away, I feel like, the Loki. Or if you do let the Loki through, find ways to outpace the double Royal Flush.
That is the question right here. That is the question. Will they ban it? That's the... Okay, Star-Lord. Cyclops. Okay, alright, what's... Oh, this is tough, this is tough. We need to see N1HEX ban that Loki. Go for the Rocket Protect again.
Yeah,
Does
it's
this
too late.
not... Wait, AAA can now
late.
protect?
Yep,
They could protect the Loki if they
Yep,
desperately want it.
They can. They will be able to protect the Loki. What I'm thinking here is N1HEX, they have to let the Gambit Loki through, but they try to alleviate that pressure by saving the Rocket Raccoon. Use the CYA to try to shut down that Royal Flush, or at least one of those Royal Flushes, right? They're trying to rely on how fast Rocket Raccoon can get that CYA down. But we saw how it turned out in map number 2. It did not matter, it felt like, because every time N1HEX went for those aggressive plays, AAAd were just able to clap it right back with a Royal Flush of their own. But then again, I feel like also, it might just rebound to the execution of their composition, right? We saw the amount of times that they went for those wombo combos, especially like the Groot ultimate into the Winter Soldier ultimate. That has been like the bread and butter combo that N1HEX were trying to rely on. And if you remember correctly, there weren't a lot of eliminations resulting from that.
Yep. A billion times yep right there. Not confident feeling for N1HEX's standing right now after that ban draft, but maybe there's something about this map they understand. Maybe they think this is the crutch pick, maybe they think this is the map. Let's say it, the word choke, maybe AAA don't do well and they maybe choke on this map. We don't know. It's a map that hasn't been historically good for
so
them.
they can't choke. They can't choke. It's not Museum.
Ooh,
It won't be Museum for a while.
Unless I know N1HEX wins and AAA pick Museum, we might get it. We'll see.
Oh no.
But hey, listen, a lot of people hey, remind us, put your predictions in, everybody. Put your predictions in. You got to lock that in right now. We're gonna find out very soon as we get back into the game, get the teams ready again. But it's Dan, I don't know, man. I like is the Rogue ban. Like I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, you've got bigger problems right now than Rogue that are just right there on your front door.
Like, I feel like also to my knowledge, I'm not sure if Scrimbucks are in play, but I don't think AAAd do have a strong Rogue player. So maybe you could maybe forego with the Rogue ban, maybe switch it over to the Loki, but it seems like N1HEX are just like, yeah, we feel like the Rogue is still gonna cause as much problems as like a double Royal Flush, maybe even worse. And N1HEX really just don't want that Rogue just being that ever so present in those team fights, especially when N1HEX really want to outpace AAAd when it comes to out-timing the Royal Flush to try to get more and more of that momentum on their end. And if Rogue is able to get a good Heartbreak down, N1HEX's ultimate economy could just go right into the gutter in crucial moments.
Well, we're at downtown Manhattan, lower Manhattan. We're at the final stop, and the final stop is Elimination Station. The question is AAA about to kick N1HEX off and say goodbye? Or are N1HEX about to take charge back of this train and, you know, have a little bit more of a tussle and maybe get another couple maps under their belt and hit the reverse sweep on AAA? You never know. They got a broom in the closet. We'll find out very soon if they can pull that off. But teams are getting ready. Looks like we're almost about to jump back into the match between N1HEX and AAAd. I gotta say though, Dan, I'm very excited for this one. Why? Because it is our first elimination in Pacific playoffs. Potentially, if N1HEX lose here, or if they make magic happen and get marvelous with it, there's a chance they might begin one of the craziest lower bracket runs ever.
And it's all going to start here, right? I think the main thing that N1HEX need to focus on is execution. You need to get those combos down reliably and also get a maximum value out of it. We talked about it not too long ago. N1HEX, every time they went for combos, they usually came out empty-handed. We need to see a little more eliminations being lit up in the KO feed this time here, because N1HEX, that's really their only way to, at the very least, outpace what AAAd have access to them, right? The Royal Flush, double that up with the Loki, and it's going to be up to N1HEX. Can you shut that down time and time again?
Oh, it's very hard to shut down one-sided Gambit, one-sided Loki.
It's definitely a tall task, but that's really the only way N1HEX can get out of here.
Well, I want to get into it. I want to find out. I want to know who's going to happen, who's going to make it happen, who's going to bring it back in their favor. I believe it's almost time to run out those spawn doors. We're going to get into it. Teams are hopefully getting ready. We're going to get to it. Look, I'm going to see some Angela. I really would look forward to it, but... Ooh, Penny Parker!
Yep.
Hey, hang on a second, N1. What they cooking?
Penny Parker is usually the staple here. It's one of the best picks here when trying to hold down on the defensive side of Lower Manhattan. Duba and the rest of AAAd, however, are going to use the portal play. It seems like N1HEX are kind of anticipating this, right? The portal goes up to the high ground, but the nest is already there, but the rest of AAAd are just able to destroy it just in time.
Well, they did portal to actually nullify the nest, which means Louis has to kind of really rush to set up once more with those spider nests. And so far, I don't see some webs on the ground, which is very bad for a Penny player right now. You need to set up quickly. D-Spook is going to really put those walls right there and really just, bunker in so that Louis has some time to set up another nest. But this is a bad spot because AAA, they're their attacking team, but it looks like they're defending on the point.
Yep, spawns have effectively been flipped. N1HEX have control on their own, and the nest does come back off cooldown. But at the very least, the vanguards of N1HEX were able to, at the very least, contest the mission area. So even if AAAd want to make aggressive moves, N1HEX will still have options of their own. Both sides are just poking and prodding to find something here, but a good kidnap from Rocco will open things up for AAAd here.
We'll open it up right now, indeed, as we see the slashing coming out from this Berserker right here. Could be very smart. They do start capturing. First third is in their favor for the AAA side end. Speaking of the favor right now, we're going to see the hands right now going into the cards right there. No smite taking out Winsguard. DC Danny down, Lyle down. Big defense right here as they're just going to absolutely cripple through it. And yep, they're going to cap that. They're going to cap that, Dan. There's no time for the reset. There's no time for the portal. Winsguard's going to have to switch back.
Yeah, AAAd's game plan was just to wait for either Mischief to come up online or Quasit on the Royal Flush. And this is the problem of letting through the Loki, because if Quasit was just a solo Gambit, there was a chance that N1HEX could have at the very least made that fight a little more competitive. But because of how fast Mandu is able to get his ultimate online, because he has so much lower of an ult energy cost when you compare it to the Royal Flush, means that AAAd just have the tempo down, and N1HEX weren't just able to get their own ultimates to at the very least try and nullify that deck of cards being thrown at them.
Yeah, I cannot believe what I'm witnessing right now. Even though they use the Royal Flush end song, they still have so many resources for AAA, but a couple are down right now, and N1HEX getting the picks that they need to try and get the defensive back on the high ground right here.
Here we go again.
There's going to be no smite in the back lines. Oh, there it is, another flush coming up from Quasted. You're right, Dan. That's going to be exactly what the firepower they need. They're going to force out the boundary, but two already down. It's just not the numbers game they need. AAA keep on moving. The shield mobile is still rolling downtown right here, but they do have the last stand from Rocco. This could be a combo. No smite as well has Stranding Prison, but so does D-Spooky. But I'm waiting for... Oh, this is a tough spot for a Phoenix.
Yeah, but they do draw at the End Song Inferno because Snake had to use it for the health reset, which means that Winsker is able to get the CYA down uncontested, but Snake is just frying him.
Ooh, absolutely shredded. Bubble time with the DC Danny looking good on the Punisher. Right here, shredding through. Finally, stopping this AAA momentum that they needed, but resources available. Man, they only have the Strangling Prism next fight, Dan. How can they take this down? How can they counter it here? It's going to be very tough for the next fight.
Yeah, N1HEX are able to, at the very least, stabilize thanks to the CYA and the Final Judgment combo that they did use. They were able to find a few eliminations and scare away AAAd for now. D-Spooky is going to try to extend this play even further with a Grey Strangling Prison onto 2. Rocco does go down, but AAAd are completely okay with this. They just have to reset one more time, get a second rotation of that Royal Flush down, and look at the ult economy on N1HEX. They have absolutely nothing to contest with this.
Well, it's another Mandu flush right there that's going to be pushing them forward. AAA do take out NRX. There goes the chance of building up to crack an impact anytime soon. We're going to see the splash and Psionics right now coming out from Tuba right there. Going to remind everybody it's summertime, but it's unfortunately not summertime for N1HEX as they are out in the cold, in the winter right there, as they're getting burnt to a crisp from AAAd. And there it is. A meter goes down to none. 3 minutes 45 to only take it to the end of the map. Lower Manhattan right now is looking very much in ownership of their new landlords, AAAd. N1HEX, they gotta pay their rent real soon.
N1HEX also have to play this so carefully. They need to navigate this bridge carefully because of Rocco on the Wolverine. One good Pharaoh leap could mean the difference between a full push for AAAd and N1HEX. You're gonna have to navigate that. They only have Exile with the invisible boundary. Quasit is threatening with that Royal Flush, so Exile needs to do a great job in trying to handle the aggression from AAAd, and they do a good job at that so far by taking out No Smite.
Alright, well, boundary's running out from Lyle right now. Big flips coming from NRX. They do take out the Phoenix, trying to get away.
Yep, there you go.
Taking Louis off the map.
Yep.
No! Strange going for a swim down the river right here. The Manhattan River? I believe there's a river in Manhattan somewhere. I'll correct myself later. We'll find out. We'll go geography classes. But speaking of classes right now, Rocco is going to be the one sleeping in class. But I thought Rocco fell off the map there for a second. But calm alarm right now. NRX in the back line. Big Star-Lord, Galactic Power going to shred through. Take out one. Louis in return takes out Rocco. No Smite falls. That's going to be one. That's going to be two. That's going to be three down for AAA. As N1HEX finally get a bit of foot in here, stopping the shield mobile on that last hill there. But, you know, be hopping around N1HEX. Gotta be careful because there's only 2 minutes left and AAA really only need like a fight to win this down.
I mean, this is important for N1HEX to, at the very least, build up that ultimate economy, stabilize a little bit so that AAAd just don't completely run them over. So now DC Danny will have access to the Soul Resurgence. D-Spooky's gonna try to just create some more space for N1HEX and buy even more time for N1HEX's ultimates to come up online. NRX is able to get the portal out so that he's able to preserve his life, but here comes the counter punch from AAAd, but at the very least, N1HEX are able to defend it.
Able to defend it right now. Sonic setting up as well. Big. Ooh, okay. Another Mandu flush right. Commits off the map. Rocco wanted Lyle really out here that time. We go. I'll say. You gotta
so
be kidding me right now.
Chaos.
Honestly, did not need to go off the map.
Yeah,
did not need to go off the map there.
Hey, it's hashtag worth. AAAd are able to win out in that exchange. Louis did a great job at trying to get some sort of exit trade down, using the Assassin's Charge to try to knock out someone on N1 on sorry, it was AAAd. And he did do a good job at that, but AAAd still in that driver's seat. A lot of that ultimate already invested. Soul Resurgence really didn't do a whole lot, it felt like, in that fight, because AAAd were just able to use it. Great kick coming from D-Spooky to take down the tree of No Smite.
This bridge is just dangerous. Get away from the bridge. Get onto the mainland right now. This is such a bad spot to be right there. Oh, it's a... Oh, you're gonna kidding me right now. That is a Quased flush right there. That's gonna be juicing up Rocco, who's gonna go for the slash, trying to go for the crash. We're gonna watch as there is an Ensong Inferno Snake scouting in the skies, bringing down fire right now, taking out DC Danny. But in return, NRX is gonna be the one to wind up their own galactic punishment here. You gotta be very, very smart to dodge it. But Heaven Falls from Louis right now as they're gonna be locking him down. Lyle takes one, takes two. That's a double KO for the Invisible Woman right now. We're trying to figure out what's next. We're trying to see who's going to get the value, but it looks like N1HEX are holding AAA on the back foot once again. Mandu, No Smite taking off the map from a pull combination. Louis and Lyle double dunking him off the map.
CYA is available on N1HEX. AAAd need to resort to the portal. Mandu needs to get this God of Mischief down in time. Overtime does get triggered, but N1HEX are up 2.
You're up indeed. Overtime's down and out. Is anybody there to contest? No. Fair play. AAA don't push to the end, but N1HEX just hold it just a few meters away. That is insane right there. What seemed like such an insane fight. N1HEX, hold on a second. They're not out yet, Dan. They held it just shy of the end, which they got a chance here. They could take it.
There was a chance that they canceled the portal there, but I'm not entirely sure. It did feel like N1HEX were scrambling to try to shut down the Doctor Strange on AAAd, but apart from that, I don't think I've seen that many environmental KOs in a single fight. I feel like every single time they kept fighting on that bridge, someone was going down into the abyss. Whether it be someone on AAAd or someone on N1HEX. And if that doesn't show how dangerous and how careful you need to play on that bridge, I don't know what else I can tell you. Because it just felt like everyone on N1HEX and AAAd just had really slippery shoes.
That's it. That's it. Well, AAAd now on defense. They chose to portal in on their attack. Will N1HEX, or will we have a little bit of a bunker situation on first point? Remember, this is where time was saved quite a lot for AAAd on their attack. They got through first quickly, straight away to the shield mobile. Dan, I gotta say though, do we think N1HEX are gonna get held here at first?
They'd have to go in fast once again, right? AAAd, their win condition is clear. It's obvious. You want to get the Royal Flush on rotation as soon as possible. And when the Hex, however, they're not going to resort to the portal. And AAAd, thankfully, aren't running the Penny Parkers, so at the very least, it's going to be a tad bit easier for N1HEX to try to make space and force their way into this indoor area right before the first checkpoint. But AAAd, look how they're positioned right now. They're covering all of those angles so that when N1HEX do want to go for those side rooms to try to catch AAAd off guard, they're going to be ready for it.
Definitely are going to be ready. Oh, careful, careful, Snake. Watch your head right there. D-Spooky taking quite a bit of damage as well. Speaking of watching your head, the dinosaur, unfortunately, the hitbox of the head is bigger than the average rocket. But for now, we're going to see how it all hulks up. Oh, just misses NRX, but allows No Smite to bunker in, tries to regroup with their team. Rocco does get a pick there, taking out Lion and return NRX, redeems him, taking out Rocco for the revenge, but Beacon's available, one's goes there, that's going to bring another one online right now. They got numbers advantage, N1HEX is going to start the fight on point.
Oh, insanely fast. CYA coming in from Winsger. No one on AAAd have a way to contest this, and that's the game plan working out for N1HEX there. Play incredibly fast, outpace the timing of both Mandu and Quasid to try to beat out the Royal Flush, and at the very least, N1HEX will be able to secure the first checkpoint, but there is some resistance coming in from AAAd here. Try to stall enough so that Mandu can get the Royal Flush down. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it here, Liger.
We will see indeed. DC Danny absolutely trying to shred through the rocket, taking out the Agamotto potential right there. Kraken Impact winds up. That's 2 down, that's 3 down. It's a good portal effect to try to stall the timer. But N1HEX are going to get that capture. Now it's their turn to push. And AAAd got to really cut through this timer. 4 minutes and 40 seconds for N1HEX to get it to the second stage. This is good for them. This was a very good start for their attack.
Really late stagger onto Mandu as well to give N1HEX more time to get control of this area, and most importantly, get control of this high ground that NRX is standing on. You want to get control of this area because the amount of areas you can see throughout this entire area right before the second checkpoint is so important. N1HEX are having a lot of that influence, but Rocco is able to just shoot down D-Spooky.
Ooh, take him down for now. Let's see how it all drags around, but 4 minutes still on the clock, scanning them. Everybody knows Manhattan does like to reveal those ultimates, and we can also see them as well because we're gloriously spectating from the Ignite perspective, but nonetheless, the players on our screens do know as well. Snake taking out Lyle right there, and another pick right now. Rocco, really marksmanship of the Elsa right here. He's actually getting dividends for the squad of AAAd right here, but NRX with D. What a raid! What?
Wow.
What an insane 90-degree hook turn right there, clean and then taking out Tuba's Deadpool.
And because they were able to find the elimination onto Snake, N1HEX were able to get an uncontested CYA down, but now AAAd are clapping right back. They are able to get the Royal Flush down, but not until N1HEX are able to get to the halfway point right before the second checkpoint. Rocco does get hooked in, but is able to dash himself out. And N1HEX doing a great job at identifying what AAAd want to do and are able to eliminate it before AAAD's plan comes into fruition.
Alright, here's the moment. Oh, spotting each other. Solo Galatrox, you're kidding me. On D-Spooky from Rocco, is it enough? It is. What an assassination of the captain on the sidelines right there. I hope it's worth it for them right now. That is a big investment. But speaking of investments right now, we're investing in the N1HEX and photo into the room. You do not want to be trapped in that room with Snake and No Smite. Double KO a piece each right there as 4 down from N1HEX, and they're going to chase these Spooky back to the spawn doors. You got them kidding me right now.
I mean, that's the strength of Phoenix in very, very small rooms. You don't have to travel all the way up to the sky. You can just go up and hit yourself on the roof. And that gives N1HEX 0 time to shut down the Endsong Inferno, or at least shoot it off so that the impact doesn't do any sort of damage. But at AAAd have all of the momentum here. Mandu actually goes off of the Loki and goes onto the Luna Snow, it seems like, as N1HEX still can't find a foothold onto the Shield Mobile, and AAAd are just keeping the stagger train going.
Yeah, there's just so much firepower coming out right now from AAAd. Just look at that lineup. Everybody on that team has a little bit, I'm going to be honest, got a little bit of Duelist aura going on right now. Not a single person there is just a meat shield or somebody waiting for the fight to start. They're the ones taking the fight straight to N1HEX's spawn door right now. You got the Deadpool, you got Luna on the flank with Mandu, Fediver Thoughts is online, Phoenix on the Skyline Snake, just absolutely shredding through, nullifying all this presence that Louis should be taking with Angela, is just getting absolutely taken down by the Phoenix. The Phoenix versus the Angel right now, it's in the favor of Snake, but nonetheless, we'll see how it all unfolds. If there's a chance from Quasar to drop a royal flush, try to... Oh my days, they denied the invisible boundary. It got cancelled. That's 3 down. There's an ultimate online, but it got denied. 1 minute left. Luna Snow doesn't get the Fader both worlds off. They're going to have to hard reset here. We still got 2 more fights.
N1HEX just look disjointed. It's starting to look like map 1 back when they played against Reject. Everyone is just so separated. No one is on the same page, it feels like. And N1HEX needs to get something going, because right now they're just getting absolutely outpaced. Props to AAAd as well for covering so many different angles. They've got the high ground, they've got the low ground, they've got the side rooms as well. And N1HEX are going to have to navigate so many different areas before actually getting contact onto the mission vehicle. Exile, however, is able to open things up by finding a pick onto Snake, but that's going to mean that Winsger going to have to use the Fatal Furrows to get some more down. Mandu gets taken down dangerously low, but has to use the Fatal Furrows, but thankfully it is the second cast, and now AAAd with a little bit more of that momentum. N1HEX still have some more time that they need to wait out before their ultimates come online.
Rocco! Hold back, please, Rocco.
So
that is just absolutely clinical right there. Just so much pressure coming out from the Elsa. Big shots going out. Pump action. There you go. Lyle's down, but it's not over yet. And NRX got the 1 reset, 2 reset. Go again. Triple KO. Kraken is impactful into the quadra KO. N1HEX is not done. Wait a minute. Does he get the last mark? Is there a chance? Oh, he gets portaled. He gets the Penta KO. And NRX isn't done. Do we see that
Hexa? Oh no, it got stolen.
What are you doing?
Still, oh my god, huge bubble as well coming from Louis to keep NRX alive so that he's able to guarantee the reset. And AAAd are a little bit stunned. They need to find a way to scramble to defend the oncoming push of N1HEX. DC Danny switches over to Spider-Man to at the very least stick together with his team, but the Vanguards could easily come up huge here. D-Spooky with the Heaven's Retribution into the Meteor could be devastating.
Devastation as Louis hits the meteor right there. Mandu taken down. DC Danny Rocker. Are you kidding me right now? Just when you think it's over, it's not over. N1HEX turn up the gas one last time. They're going to take down half of AAAd. They're going to try to keep congestion. A 5-minute push turns into overtime. 3 meters, 2 meters, 1 minute, and another 90 seconds to the bank. It ain't over till it's over. N1HEX have one final chance to survive in this series, and this is it. AAAd. What was that? They had a 5-minute bank to shred through, but N1HEX with a Kraken so impactful from NRX kept them in the game. My goodness.
And now we're going to the exact same spot that we saw so many different environmental KOs. Everyone is gearing for that win condition, it seems like. D-Spooky onto D'Angelo, DC Danny on Spider-Man means that he can pull people off of the bridge. Exile on the Invisible Woman could do the exact same with the Force Physics as well. I'm a little surprised that AAAd are foregoing from the Loki onto the Luna Snow. I guess it provides some extra damage, some extra poke potential for AAAd, but that leaves out the double Raging Royal Flush that has been so instrumental in letting AAAd win out that second map. But here in the third, it looks like they're gonna just drop it completely, and it's all eyes on Closet. If he's able to time this Royal Flush down, because right now 25 seconds is not a lot of time for N1HEX to try to match what AAAd pushed in round 1.
This is it, final 20 seconds left on the clock right now. Rocco gets a big no smite as well. NRX down, Louis down, that's another one down. Big double down, double KO from Rocco right there.
10 seconds.
Here it is, 10 seconds. This is it, Dan, this is it.
Can D-Spooky get the touch in time, though? He's trying to find an opportunity, but everyone on AAAd are ready. 1 second ticks down. They were able to touch. It looked like DC Dandy was able to just barely touch the shield mobile to get the overtime meter going. But with the Raging Royal Flush going down, N1HEX are going to have to try to stall out this, but 2 go down already. This is bad news, Liger.
This is it, and Song Inferno in the skies, crashing down on the Luna dances, sky high, Snake takes another, NRX is down, there's no Bucky chance, overtime's done, and now Snake another tuber with a double tuber KO right there, shuts N1HEX out of here, just when you thought there was a chance at Gory, AAA shut it down.
And the one ultimate that screwed over N1HEX is the final nail in the coffin, the Raging Royal Flush, the Gambit ultimate. Whatever you want to call it, it's still so strong here in Marvel Rivals. Every time it gets nerfed, everyone's like, oh, this Gambit is not as good anymore. But no. That thing is still an absolute problem. And it felt like N1HEX just never were able to overcome it because of how well AAAd were utilizing it. Even though they had only one Gambit ultimate in that final fight there, they were able to time it perfectly, to the point where N1HEX, they got a little bit uncomfortable with the time being so low. They were all just scrambling to try to get something going, which felt like out of nothing. And AAAd, gotta give props to them for utilizing what is probably the strongest strategist line in the entire game right now. And N1HEX, although there were times they found an opportunity, it just felt like they only had the driver's seat for just a little bit until AAAd were able to get that second rotation of that Royal Flush down.
And my heart is still pounding right now. I'm like on my screen, I'm staring at SVP, I'm staring at NRX right now.
Like
Gas
what more can you do?
Oh,
like
dude,
NRX did so much.
Everything in 20 more final hits than anyone else on the opposing force. Like full Bucky hard carry action right there. It's just missing that one element. We know what it was. The house always wins. The cards were not in their favor, and they just couldn't handle the Gambit. Loki, come on. This is a lesson that I hope that they learn the next time we see N1HEX. My goodness, like, they fought so hard to get out of group stage. They made it here, but the buck has to stop. They have to get off. The ticket has been punched. They have to get off at Elimination Station. And that does mean congratulations to AAAd. Still in the running. Still have a chance to claim victory here in this tournament, but whew, wow, all energy right there.
I feel like I know there's been a lot of 3-0s in the playoffs so far, but it just felt like they were all intense, like, right? Like every single map went down to the wire. It just felt like, and gotta give props to N1HEX. I gotta give the flowers to them for just putting on an absolute show here in playoffs. Although this is the end of the road for them, the potential is still so sky high for this entire roster. Like NRX in particular, like we got to talk about him even more. He did so much in getting N1HEX here into the playoffs, but unfortunately it was just not enough for him to what felt like just 1v9 the entire lobby.
Yeah, you really got to give props to NRX, man, because he went super Thanos mode at the very end there, man, but it just wasn't enough. And we've been highlighting the Gambit and Loki a lot, but I want to focus again on the final moments of Lower Manhattan. What was the moment, or what was the key to success for N1HEX to finally get into the driver's seat, like you mentioned, Dan?
I mean, it was just like making sure that N1HEX play as a team, right? We saw in the beginning of playoffs, they looked so disjointed against Reject, especially in that first map. But as we saw further and further into the series, N1HEX looked more cohesive. They actually played like a really strong team here in Ignite. But right now, coming into this matchup against AAAd, it just felt like they got outclassed, not just inside the game, but also in the ban draft. Because, my goodness.
Yes! You've mentioned that a few times,
Loki.
Dan.
Yeah.
For good reason. It just felt like
Come on.
whenever N1HEX had opportunities to get in the driver's seat, it was only for this much. If the Loki was gone, it might have been even longer for N1HEX to stay and keep that momentum
Well,
going.
now, hold on. We're just moments away before our interview, but again, like, even though we saw the Loki and the Gambit make its way through, that was going to be the big basis of the post-match, analysis, right? Still, N1HEX found a way to make it not as strong as it was for the entirety of that series, and I really want to hone in on that, because future teams are probably going to be looking in the lower bracket for a way to defeat AAAd, and I think those final 10 or so moments might be the key to success.
Well, I wouldn't even say the final moments. I would say before the map even began. The key is do not give them Gambit Loki.
But what if they
And the
do,
teams
though?
above will not. No, they won't. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Look, it's a fair assumption, but reality is N1HEX, they got indomitable force with their Vanguards. They got unstoppable power with their Dwarfs. They got clinical heals coming out from their strategists. But who's leading the charge? Where's the brain factor? Where's maybe the coaching element? Maybe that's what's missing for them. We don't know. We're trying to figure out what they need to be absolutely certain that with these 3 attributes their team has, this hyper carry potential coming out from NRX himself. Like, how can you just funnel all of that into the game, but also know that you're going into the game with a fair playing field? Because if you're going with a one-sided Loki and a one-sided Gambit against you, you're punching up. You're honestly just punching up.
Yeah, it makes things really difficult, right? And gotta give your laurels to AAAd as well. I think given what they were given, which was, the Loki and Gambit for the majority of the series, they played things pretty dang well. And to go on your point from before, Dan, the fact that we've seen almost every single game in playoffs so far be relatively a 3-0 or maybe a 3-1. They have been close. Yeah. It's been AAAd that have given me heart attacks, man. I've lost 10 years of my life watching them versus Chiefs. I've lost even more years off of my life from N1HEX's matchup. I don't know if I'm going to survive to the end of this broadcast, dude. But, I mean, if AAAd can continue the way they've been playing, do we think they're going to make a deep lower bracket run?
Because, right, I feel like AAAd, they have the execution down, but there were a few moments where it got a little bit sloppy, right? Sometimes, like, either Quasar or Mandu went down at a really unfortunate time, and it felt like AAAd, because of those tiny little mistakes, showed that they can bleed, right? There are ways to exploit what AAAd want to go for, whether it be AAAd overheating or them just being a little bit out of position. And I feel like teams could easily just, use that to their own advantage and punish AAAd for playing ever so slightly sloppier.
That's why I think the final moments of this matchup was really important, because that was the moment we saw AAAd bleed the most. NRX especially was taking full advantage on the Winter Soldier, right? Bro was going sicko mode. It was incredible. But, I mean, going forwards, right, to ask, I guess, the second half of that question again, can AAAd make a deep run? Because after the matches in the second half of tonight, there might be a big stopping block in their way.
That's tough. Because what ultimately they're going to have to face now is, I mean, look, the matchup between Z10 and Burgers, those are teams that AAA have kind of tussled with at a slightly higher level than N1HEX. Like, they may have had it, I don't want to say easy, because that's not the case here. N1HEX did make them work for it, but right now, whatever they face in the next lower bracket round tomorrow for themselves, it's going to be another team that also just pulled off what they did. That also just pulled off, a survival play and knocked out someone else. So they both know what it's like to taste blood, but they also know what it's like to survive by the skin of your teeth. So at the end of the day, whoever they face, whether it's Z10, whether it's Burgers, MRC champions, you got to be careful. It's going to be absolutely no time to slip up. As Dan was saying, you have shown that you can bleed. You've slipped up and made mistakes here and there. You've had 5-minute time bank situations that got a bit dicey that shouldn't have been there. They should not have been there in the first place. That's going to be the thing they need to refine before their match tomorrow.
But the thing is, I still think they need to clean up really quickly, because right now, with how stacked the upper bracket is, it's only a matter of time before they AAAd face one of those teams, and if they really want to get one hell of a lower bracket run down, they need to make sure that they're able to go toe-to-toe against some of the top teams, whether it be like Chiefs, but whether it be Reject, whether it be Gen G, if they even go down into the lower bracket, you got to be ready for the worst case scenario in terms of how strong your opponent could be in order to stay alive in this tournament, because right now it looks like a very steep uphill battle for AAA.
I won't say it's the first time, though. AAAd made a monstrous lower bracket run in their MRC Season 6 run to qualify for Ignite in the first place. But our interview is ready. Ring, ring. Who do we have on the line? Oh, it's Rocco. Hi, Rocco. How are you?
Hi, my name is Rocco. I'm
Hi,
DPS
Rocco.
player. Yeah.
Very nice. Yes. Oh, we know you're a DPS player. But Rocco, I have a question for you. How would you evaluate your individual performance in this match?
Today I don't think I played very well because I was feeling really sick. Very sick. Sick today.
Oh. Oh, you are?
no.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I'm fine.
But,
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, better.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. That's good. But to follow up on it, in your team, who do you think was the hard? Who was the carry in your team?
I think
was the standout?
Snake was the standout player. He handled most of the shackling and helped us with our posting, which played a big part in us winning the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, regarding your team synergy in the game that you just played, you know, how did you feel about the coordination amongst yourselves?
When Gambit and Phoenix went in, Phoenix made the calls and pinged the targets. So it was really easy for us to follow up and play together.
Hey, you know what? That sounds good to me. Rocco, you have a long road ahead of yourself in the lower bracket, man. You got to get some sleep, especially with you feeling a little sick. I want you to get better, man. We got to see Prime Rocco tomorrow, dude. So take care. Have a wonderful night, man. Thank you so much for joining us in the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.